Hello, friends. Welcome back. My name is Whitley, and today we are getting into the Christmas spirit. I'm going to be reading some festive books to really kick off my Christmas season. I have my eye on quite a few books that I would like to read for this, but I do have three that I would definitely love to fit in this week. The first being Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. This is a second chance romance where our two exes unwittingly end up on the same vacation over Christmas. This is sapphic. It looks adorable. I'm so excited. The next book I'm planning on reading is Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. This is a romance between two children of rock legends that band together to try to get their mothers to agree to this reunion show on Christmas Eve. I have loved Tessa Bailey's books in the past, so I am so excited to try out her Christmas romance. Lastly, I'm going to be reading The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. This is a YA female retelling of A Christmas Carol. I love The Christmas Carol so much, so I am so excited to see what Cynthia Hand does to this story and how she puts a fresh spin on it. We are also going to be doing some decorating. It is time to get out the Christmas decor and transform the apartment. I also have a new dessert recipe that I would love to try, so maybe we will do some baking. Nothing gets me in the holiday spirit like baking. And most importantly, we are going to be doing some festive reading. I am so excited, so ready, so happy to be getting into the holiday mood. And if any of that interests you, be sure to stick around and hang out for a little bit. I think I am going to be starting with Tessa Bailey's Wreck the Halls. This is the only author that I have read from in the past, and I know I enjoy her romances, so hopefully this will be no exception. So without further ado, let's get into the first book. Hello, friends. Welcome to the vlog. Before I get into this update, please ignore my hair because I rode the bike to work today. And I haven't done my workout yet. I wanted to pop in and give you my initial update, my initial thoughts before I dove into all of my nightly responsibilities. So it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Mind your business. I am about 30% of the way through Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey, and I am really enjoying it so far. Tessa Bailey does such a good job with sexual tension. Like, both of these characters are so hot for each other, and they're not even doing a good job at hiding it. And it is adorable and hilarious. So we're following Bea and Melody. They are both children of these legendary rock stars. They were in the biggest band in the world in the 90s. It's speculated that possibly a love triangle broke up the band, but whatever happened made these two women absolutely hate each other. The women being Bea and Melody's mothers. In a different life, this could have played out very differently. They could have grown up together. Their mothers being best friends, they could have grown up best friends, but that is not how this story goes. Before the events of this book, these two have only met once before. It was over a decade ago when they were teenagers, but this brief encounter has really lingered and seared itself into both of their brains. There was this instant connection, and more importantly, there was this understanding because they had never met another person who knew what they were going through, that had had the same experiences that they had had. They both, grew up in the spotlight and had to struggle through paparazzi and questioning whether your friends were, really there for you, or if they were just there for some clout and just wanted information on their favorite band. They were both very much raised in the limelight, so that of course brings about its own challenges that they just understood about each other, like being constantly pestered by strangers and friends alike, wanting to know any scrap of information about their infamous mothers. But the media and the paparazzi treated Bea and Melody very differently. I really appreciated the spotlight on how much more of a higher standard the media and the paparazzi and really the world put upon Melody's shoulders being a young woman. The limelight was really just casting this huge shadow on Melody and trying to push her down and make her feel small, especially next to the infamy that was her mother. They would talk about how ugly and unimpressive she was, especially next to her mother, and it was just so sad. And to think that so many real people go through this is just heartbreaking. But Beat was kind of the exact opposite. You know, the limelight really made him shine. He was seen as the golden boy. He was very charming. He was handsome. He was extroverted. Whereas Melody was, you know, very shy, very awkward. You know, she had braces. She was a growing young woman. But during this meeting as teenagers, Melody secretly confesses, you know, like, this negative attention does bother her. And once Beat heard that, he was like, no, I am not being charming anymore. You are not getting my good side. He literally told the media, like, until you start treating Melody with some respect, you will not get another word from me. And they did, slowly, but they did. And Melody has never forgotten what Beat did for her. And maybe that's why, even though they haven't spoken in over a decade, when Beat reaches out and asks Melody's permission to really open this can of worms between their mothers and try to get them to reunite for this Christmas Eve reunion show, which is clearly going to open them both back up to, you know, the media's limelight, the spotlight, the attention, and the scrutiny once again. She not only agrees, but offers to help and to be a part of this mission. And I just thought it was really cute that Beat refused to do anything before talking to Melody. Like, and if Melody, even though he really needs this, if Melody said, no, I am not okay with this, he would have stood by that. Like, he would not have went on with this without her permission. But Melody can tell that Beat needs this. He won't say why exactly he needs the money, but I mean, we know why. And even though Melody hates attention, she is a very introverted person, she signs on to be a part of this huge reality show with Beat called Wreck the Halls, to follow them on their journey to try to convince their mothers to reunite and put on this Christmas Eve show. I was not aware going into this book that we were going to get a like live broadcast reality show aspect, and I'm honestly really liking it. I don't like reality television in my like real life. I don't like watching it, but I've read quite a few books that feature reality shows and I usually really enjoy them. I don't know what the difference is, why I don't like watching them versus reading them, but I am who I am, I guess. We haven't gotten much of the reality show aspect yet, honestly, but there is something about these two characters being in front of thousands of people and really failing at hiding their crushes on each other that is just hitting for me. The sexual tension is palpable and their chemistry is like leaping off the page. So good. Even though they only had that one brief encounter when they were teenagers, it really feels like these people have been friends for years. Like, they are just so instantly connected and fit so well together. I think some of it is having this like huge thing in common that no one in their life really understands but each other, with how they grew up and living the kind of life that they had to live. But it feels like more than that as well. It just feels like they are two people that just so instantly connect. And you're probably thinking, if it's so obvious that both of them have a crush on each other, why not just get together, right? Well, all would be great if Beat didn't just decide that he needs to put some space between him and Melody. He needs to slow things down because he can see the neon lights that is their chemistry, but he also knows that he apparently can't sleep with Melody because of his sexual preferences, which we are not privy to yet, but I'm very curious. Apparently, it is something that most women like aren't super okay with. He's alluded that he does not date, you know, he does not do relationships. He has to, I don't know if he gets prostitutes or if he goes to like some clubs or something to like get his rocks off, but he's made it very clear that his sexual life and his personal life are very separated. And this man is just going to leave us hanging like that. Like, I am so intrigued to find out what this man's kink is. It can't be that bad. But I am honestly just really enjoying getting to know both of these characters so far. Melody is like such a sweetheart. She is introverted, but she like really comes alive around Beat. And she's doing so well in front of the cameras, but Beat is also like really protective. And, you know, with all of these fans and paparazzi, he's like gone into protective mode, making sure that she's safe, but also, you know, trying to keep that distance to not, one, get her hopes up, and two, give her the wrong idea, because he is not capable of, you know, giving her what he thinks she needs. So I'm very interested to see like where this is going to go. I mean, obviously, you know, things are going to advance, so I am very excited about that, but I am really enjoying like the yearning the stolen glances, the right out staring, honestly. But I'm also liking the talk that is like surrounding this band. And I am curious and excited to see kind of what their game plan is going to be to try to get these two women who hate each other to get back on stage together for a reunion show, which Beat and Melody have both adamantly said is like a 1 in a million shot. Like, it is going to be a miracle if they happen to pull this off. But I'm looking forward to getting into like what happened between them. Like, they were obviously best friends and something tore them apart. I'm also really looking forward to seeing kind of Melody and her mom's relationship, because she has mentioned, you know, they don't have the best relationship and they only see each other once a year. So I am looking forward to seeing how that progresses as well, all while getting to see Beat and Melody just fawn all over each other on live television. Side note, the audiobook is fantastic. It is dual narration and dual perspective, which I love, and both audiobook narrators are really great. I honestly have zero complaints so far. Like, I'm having such a good time. I forgot how much I enjoy Tessa Bailey's writing. So yeah, it has been a great start. I did take down all of my Halloween and fall decorations, which was sad day that I can't look at my like spooky autumnal stuff anymore. But in the next couple days, I'm going to be putting up our Christmas decorations. I'm so excited. So sad to see fall and Halloween go, but so happy to see Christmas come around. It feels so empty in here though right now. Like, I have my little ambiance on because it just feels like so dreary in here without all my decor up, because I have like year-round decor that I usually have up that I take down to replace because I don't have quite enough wall space that is also in the closet, and I just wasn't gonna put that back up just to take it back down when I put Christmas stuff up. So yeah, it just feels really empty at the moment, but it's only gonna last a couple days until we can get our Christmas decorations up. I'm so excited. I also found this recipe for a blueberry lemon loaf, and it's like a healthy loaf. It's made with like whole wheat flour. There's no refined sugar in it, and I have been so bad. Guys, I have been not watching what I've been eating lately. Not great, but you know, it's like the holiday season. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, but I really want to try this lemon blueberry, like healthier. Like, it's kind of like banana nut bread, but it's blueberry and lemon. I'm so excited. So I'm also planning on making that this week. So yeah, a lot of fun things planned. Hopefully some great reading. I'm loving what I'm reading right now. But I think that is all I have for you today. Like I said, I wanted to pop on here before I got into all of my nightly activities, because once I get started, I just kind of get sucked in. So I wanted to check in with you before I did that. But I am going to, after my workout and after dinner, I'm going to try to edit some tonight. And then before bed, I will, of course, pick this back up and get some more reading done. So I will check back with you once I get a little bit further of the way into Wreck the Halls. Hello, friends. Popping in with another update. I'm about 70% of the way through Wreck the Halls, and I am enjoying it so much. I don't think it's going to quite reach that 5-star status, but I'm still really loving it. The yearning and the tension have been absolutely fantastic. We did find out shortly after my last update kind of what Beat's proclivity is, and the dude just like some edging. Like, it's fine. That's not that big of a deal. I do understand the holdup though. Like, it's not necessarily about the edging. It is about letting himself be so vulnerable and trusting with another person, which he has never done before. And it honestly like makes so much sense. Like, this man has been handed everything on a silver platter. Anything he has ever wanted, he has just been given. So to kind of like assuage that guilt and to kind of feel like he is, you know, balancing his life a little bit, he neglects himself that, and he never like lets himself finish or like be that vulnerable with somebody. But will Melody be the one to finally like break down this decades old barrier, and will Beat finally, you know, open up and let himself be vulnerable and trust someone that much? I guess we'll see. Even though they have so much in common with kind of how they grew up and how they were raised in this spotlight, their relationships with their mothers are so vastly different. I'm really enjoying seeing like all the differing relationship dynamics that we're getting, especially around both of their families. Speaking of their mothers, they are still trying to get them to agree to this reunion. I really enjoyed seeing Melody finally like stand her ground and stand up to her mom. But I'm not sure that it was quite enough to convince her, but I guess we will see. I mean, it is a rom-com, so like it's reasonable to assume that, everything's gonna work out. They will eventually get them to agree to it. But I am so excited to kind of see how that's going to happen and what ends up bringing everyone together. I'm just honestly loving the journey so far. I only have a couple of hours left in the audiobook, so I should be able to finish this tomorrow, no problem. Also, my Christmas shopping is like 95% done and it feels so good. Like everything is on its way. It should be here tomorrow, I think. I ordered from a couple different places. I've ordered it like over the past week or so, and it just feels so good to be done. So looking forward to everybody's gifts being here. They are gonna last till Christmas, though. That is a real issue, especially with me and my husband. I mean, we're not like super buying for each other this year, but if there are gifts under the tree, they usually don't last long. So I am gonna go ahead and wrap them, put them under the tree when I do eventually get it up, but we'll see how long they actually last. We also got Adobe. So that is like a creative cloud service where it has so many applications. They were having this big like Black Friday sale and my husband uses it for work anyway, a couple of the applications anyway, not like the whole suite of applications, but they were having this Black Friday sale. So we just decided to, bite the bullet and buy the entire suite. So I'm going to have like an editing software called Premiere and then Photoshop, which is like a photo editing service. And I'm really excited, but I'm really nervous because I've been using my video editing software. It was a one-time purchase, which I love. Stupid Adobe is a yearly subscription, but Adobe you can do so much more with. I've been using Filmora right now and I really like it, but I am looking forward to kind of getting into a new software, but I'm so nervous. Like editing already takes so long and just adding on top of that, learning a new system, I am intimidated, but I'm excited. Also, Photoshop intimidates the hell out of me. I just use Canva right now, but granted, I do use Pro, so I am going to have to cancel that because obviously with me spending the money to have Adobe, I don't want to add on top of that another subscription when I have something that can do what Canva does, obviously. Like Photoshop can do pretty much anything with a photo. I am just so intimidated to kind of learn it. So we'll see how that goes. I am nervous, but excited. So I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. I think I'm going to go on and kind of like familiarize myself with this new technology and see how trying to teach myself goes. Wish me luck.
Fold in the cheese.
What does that mean? What does fold in the cheese mean?
He folds it in.
I understand that, but how do you fold it? Do you fold it in half like a piece of paper and drop it in the pot, or what do you do?
Hello friends, welcome back. So I have finished Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey, and I love this so much. I really enjoyed this book. I thought how the ending played out and how everything really came together and how everything got resolved was done so well. I really enjoyed seeing the character arcs of both Beat and Melody. I really enjoyed the personal growth of all of the characters, honestly, like not just Beat and Melody, but the side characters as well. The side characters, honestly, like felt so rich and real and had me so invested in their growth and their arcs as well. It was really well done. I loved seeing Melody like get her time in the spotlight because the media, treated her so poorly when she was in the limelight when she was a teenager, but the public and the media just like ate her up as an adult. Like they really saw and adored and praised the woman that she is now. I also felt like the public's reaction to Beat and Melody was so real. They got so enthralled in their relationship and they were like shipping it so hard. And as a notorious fangirl and shipper of people that I know nothing about, I felt that the aspect was really great and it was so fun, and I may have felt a little personally attacked, but in a fun, good way. And the reality show brought such a fun twist to what could have really been just a run-of-the-mill romance. I had such a great time with this one. I think I'm gonna land on probably a 4-star, maybe a 4.5, but it is probably leaning more towards a 4. The conflict did fall a little short for me. I didn't feel like there was much stakes or tension to it. And although the romance was really cute and fun, it never really, had me enraptured. It never had the butterflies, fluttering in my stomach or giving me those feels. But I still really loved it. I really need to check out more of Tessa Bailey's work. I've read the 2 Bellinger sister books, which I gave 5 stars, absolutely adored. I also read Unfortunately Yours, which I did not know at the time is actually a second book in a series. And I hadn't read the first, and it feels weird going back to read the first now that I've already read the second book, but that one wasn't my favorite anyway, so maybe that series just wouldn't have been quite for me. But I do know that she also has this sports romance that seems to be really popular. I've never really delved into the sports romance subgenre, but I feel like Tessa Bailey could be a great introduction. But I think the next thing I am going to pick up is going to be The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. Nothing gets me quite in the Christmas mood like The Christmas Carol does. I watch one rendition or another of this absolute iconic classic every year for Christmas. I'm not gonna lie, ever since it came out, it's usually the Jim Carrey version, but I also love the Patrick Stewart version as well. That one's my mom's favorite, so we watch that one a lot as well. It is just such a beloved story of mine, so I'm really excited to see this fresh take on it. We are also going to be decorating our apartment for Christmas this weekend. I am so excited. I have to dig everything out of the closet to kind of take inventory and see what we have. I've seen a couple things that I really wanted to pick up, and I'm like, do we have one of those already? So I'm going to take stock, see what we have to see what I can still get. I also need to wrap all of the Christmas gifts that have arrived this week so we can put them under the tree. I'm not sure we're going to immediately put our tree up just because we do live in a quite small apartment and it takes up so much space. Like where we have to put it in the apartment, the only place that it will fit is right where I work out every night. So I honestly, if we put it up now, I'm not sure where I'm going to have space to work out. So we might wait until it gets a little bit closer to Christmas until we put it up. But I'm going to be honest, I may not be able to resist. So we'll see how it goes. Sydney also texted me yesterday at work and was like, hey, can I buy something for us? I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I know we both want it. And I mean, I trust him. So I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. And when I tell you that I was not expecting what this man brought home, like I tried to guess, I made multiple guesses and I was nowhere close. This man brought home a 3D printer, like a full ass desk 3D printer. It's not quite as big as a desk, but like it's a pretty good size 3D printer. So we now have a 3D printer. So that's fun. We went and got some filament for it this morning so we could get it dialed in, you know, get the settings right so we can start printing things. I'm honestly so excited. I have so many ideas of things I want to print. I mean, not that I needed another hobby, but I'm very excited. We also stopped at Scooter's Coffee. I don't know if you have a Scooter's Coffee where you are, but so good. Highly recommend. But they have Buddy the Elf like marketing on all of their cups, and I got a little narwhal sticker. I got a I think this is the Buddy the Elf drink. It's a maple chai, and I got a shot of espresso, and oh my gosh, it is so good. And I just love that I got the narwhal sticker, and then the actual cup says, "Bye, buddy. I hope you find your dad." This is another Christmas movie that I watch like every year religiously. So love to see that. So it's been a great morning so far. But now I'm going to go dig all of our Christmas decorations out of our closet and get to decorating. Just kidding. I decided to pick up Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. The audiobook became available through my library, so I went ahead and borrowed it, and now I am tandem reading this. I am reading it physically while also listening to the audiobook, like my favorite way to read. I am 100 pages in so far, and it's just okay. We're just getting to the point where it's getting past the synopsis. Charlotte was left at the altar 5 years ago, and she has not been the same since. She also believes that there is some kind of curse that she has, that every December, terrible things happen to her. And yes, being left at the altar did happen on December, which, I mean, doesn't bode well for the argument that she's not cursed. Her and her string quartet members, her really only friends, are all planning on spending Christmas alone, with the exception of probably her best friend, Sloane. She spends the Christmas season with her family every year in the Colorado mountains. She convinces them all to tag along, bribing Charlotte with more rehearsal time because they have this huge show coming up in the new year. Brighton, who left Charlotte at the altar, is coincidentally also spending Christmas by her lonesome for the first time in her life. She's been really struggling ever since her band kicked her out and then immediately blew up and became a huge sensation. And her parents, who she spends every Christmas with, telling her that they are going out of the country for Christmas is just the icing on the worst Christmas cake ever. But her best friend Adele invites her to spend the Christmas with her family. Where else but in the Colorado mountains? Turns out Sloane, Charlotte's best friend, and Adele, Brighton's best friend, are sisters. So when Charlotte arrives with Sloane and Brighton arrives with Adele, they are both shocked and horrified to come face to face with their exes for the first time in 5 years. They're both clearly not over what happened or over each other. It's so clear to see that they both have feelings still for each other, but it's just so hard for me to root for them at this point. Like, I don't know if it's the fact that second chance romances just usually don't hit for me, or if it's the fact that Brighton has the audacity to be upset with Charlotte for not wanting to talk to her. Like, obviously, she doesn't want to talk to you. You left her at the altar. You broke her freaking heart. Like, girl, of course she doesn't want to talk to you. In her absolute panic, Charlotte introduces herself to Brighton like they have never met before. Like, she does not want anyone to know their history or who they are to each other. And now they have to pretend to be strangers while going on these like romantic dates. Sloane and Adele's mother is always playing matchmaker for them, so they signed this whole group up for the annual Christmas singles event. I am really liking all of the LGBTQIA plus representation that we're getting in this. I mean, we are getting rep from all over the spectrum, which we love to see. The writing has been okay so far. Like, it's nothing special, but it also hasn't been like offensive. I'm just not digging the romance at the moment. I mean, I'm sure there is a good reason that Brighton left Charlotte at the altar, and I'm sure that we are going to get that information. But right now, she's just kind of reading a little bit like a spoiled brat. But we'll see if maybe once we get some more information and start digging into their past a little bit and their relationship, maybe it'll start to grow on me. We'll see. Yes, hello. Also, I knew this name sounded familiar, this author. I did not realize that she is also the author of Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which is a book that has been on my TBR for years. So, I mean, not that it's looking great right now, not that I'm not liking it. It's just very mid right now, this book. But if I do end up liking this one, that is gonna bump Delilah Green Doesn't Care much higher up on my priority list. So, excited to see how that goes as well. Also, as I'm sure you can see, well, I don't know if you can actually see, now you can see, I resisted the urge to put up my tree. I was not ready to give up my workout spot yet, so we'll put it up maybe next weekend, maybe the weekend after. I want to have a few weeks to enjoy it, but I don't know, like that is the only place that it fits. And I could work out in my office, but I would miss my full-length mirror working out. So I don't know, we'll see. I did resist the urge though. So maybe we'll put it up next weekend. But as you saw and can now see, we did get everything else decorated. I am in love. It is so cozy and festive in here, and just walking in and plugging in all of my lights just makes me so happy. Also, forgot to mention how freaking good that lemon blueberry bread was. I put more blueberries than it called for because I was like, you can't have too many blueberries, right? I may have went a little overboard with the blueberries, but it was still so good. I just should have added some more lemon to kind of counteract the blueberries, but it was so good for not having any like refined sugar. All it had was maple syrup and honey. So good. I will definitely be making again in the future. If you're interested, I will leave the recipe down in the description. It is delicious. Hello friends. I am on page 255. I'm on chapter 23, and I'm just not feeling this one, sadly. I'm barely feeling any chemistry between these two. Like, I am honestly more invested in a side romance that is happening than the main one between these girls. They are starting to kind of open up a little bit more, but it's like they shared one short apology and then they're just jumping each other's bones. I feel like it might be a me problem though. Like it's got decent ratings on Goodreads, but I don't know, like I feel like it's not offensive, like it's not bad. I'm just not liking it. And I'm honestly not sure why. Like we're getting the flashbacks of their previous time together when they were engaged and when they were happy, but I don't know, I'm just not feeling connected to them in any way or feeling their chemistry, their draw, what they really see in each other. And I think I've had a first. I have never had the urge to skim past a steamy scene. Like, your girl loves the steamy scenes in romances. And this one, like, I didn't skip it. I didn't skim past it, but I thought about it. I don't know. It just felt so stiff. And the only word that I can think of is simple. And I don't know why it hit me so hard during the steamy scene, but it was like every single sentence, mostly the dialogue, shared the same exact structure. It was like person said while doing action, just over and over and over again. I feel like the writing would heavily benefit from mixing in some synonyms for said. Like, obviously, said is an okay word. I don't know why this bugged me so much, but it was like every single sentence, every single dialogue sentence had the word said. Charlotte said. Brighton said. Over and over. And besides that, I don't know, the steamy dialogue just wasn't very good. Like I said, the only word that really comes to mind is simple. It was a bunch of just like, yes, please, and that was just really it. Moving on from the disappointing steamy scene, I'm just not vibing with the story, unfortunately. This one, I just feel like is not going to be for me. I only have about 100 pages left. I'm so close, so I mean, I'm gonna finish it, but it's more out of obligation than from enjoyment. I'm so sad, too. Like, I love a sapphic romance, and I mean, I guess it's kind of my fault. Like, I knew second chance romances aren't usually my jam, but I thought I'd give it a shot, and I just don't think this one's going to be for me. But I'm going to finish it, and I will let you know my final thoughts. I also have to show you something on a brighter note. We made our first 3D printed thing. I am obsessed. So this is going to hang on our wall and hold our keys. I'm so happy. It is so cool. It's like a little demon hand. I love it so much. And it did so well. Like, it needs some sanding, but like it's pretty detailed. I'm very happy with it. I have saved so many things to 3D print. Like, this place is going to be filled with just 3D printed crap, and I'm so excited. We also, I wish I would have shown you before I gave it to her, but we made my mom this little cat. Her poor cat passed away, and suddenly, a very young cat, just a tragic accident, but we made her this little 3D printed cat to like put on her mantle, and oh my gosh, it was so cute. But I have so many plans, so many 3D printed things. I'm so excited. Also, I played around in Premiere, if you care. I am nervous. Like, it's so different. The editing software that I use now, I almost never use the keyboard. And like, you have to use so many keys on the keyboard for Premiere. So it's just going to take some getting used to, but I think I am going to like it. Also, I am getting my wisdom teeth removed tomorrow. I am so nervous. I'm so scared. I've never had surgery. I've never been put to sleep. I mean, I've never even had stitches. Like, I'm so nervous. So I am either probably, I should be able to finish this up tonight. Like I said, I only have 100 pages, but if I am feeling really groggy and like loopy tomorrow, I might take a couple of days to recoup, or my update for finishing this is just going to be like unhinged cuckoo bananas. We'll see how I feel. So wish me luck on my wisdom teeth removal and finishing this book. I hope it gets better. Hello friends. The wisdom teeth have been removed. I was so nervous, but I'm so happy to report that it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I've never been put under before, and it was so weird. But when I came out of it, I wasn't like super loopy like a lot of people are. I don't know if it's because they didn't do the gas. It was IV sedation, but I don't know. I just felt a little tipsy. Like I was feeling good, but I wasn't like talking nonsense or anything. I took a picture. You can tell I was feeling myself. I was feeling good. But yesterday, I just kind of took it easy, chilled, did some reading, did some editing. Easy, chill day, let my body recoup, and I feel great today. I was worried because I am a like 2-day sore, especially when I work out. I was worried that the second day was gonna like be where it really hit me, but I am very happy to report that I am still relatively pain-free. A little discomfort here and there, but I cannot complain. I am just so happy that it was not a miserable experience like I was fearing. Speaking of miserable experiences, that's a little dramatic, let's be real. A little dramatic. But I did manage to finish Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. And I am so sad that I chose to pick this book over so many of the other holiday romances that I had my eye on because I did not enjoy this. The breakup, if you can even call being left at the altar a breakup, was kind of both of their faults, but there is no shot that I would ever forgive someone after that, let alone want to give them a second chance and be with them again. Especially when Brighton never even really spoke up about what she was having issues with or that she was having issues at all. Apparently, Charlotte like saw that she was unhappy and just ignored it. So I guess everyone sucks here, but Brighton sucked way more. She never got better. The kind of like spoiled entitlement never went away. And she was also like never even really apologetic for what she put Charlotte through. This whole conflict really so heavily relied on the miscommunication trope, which is one of my least favorite romance tropes. So yeah, I was just not a fan of this. These characters also had very little to no personality throughout the entire like 350 pages that we spent with them. I think that's why that even though we did get those glimpses into their past about their previous relationship and how they were happy once, it still wasn't enough to make me feel that they belonged together or that they were even gonna work. And it also did not help give us any glimpse into really who these characters were. There was just not a lot of substance in these characters. I also feel like there was no real resolution. There was no change in these characters. There was no arc. I feel like these characters are going to fall right back into their old habits, and it just feels like they are never gonna last. And on top of that, I mean, the writing was just kind of dull. I'm gonna give this 2 stars. I really did like all of the queer representation that we got, and some of the side characters I really did enjoy. I honestly wish we would have gotten more from the side characters and less from Charlotte and Brighton. But alas, this is the book I have chosen, and they can't all be winners. I am on to hopefully brighter pastures, better books. I am very hopeful for my last book of the vlog. It is going to be The Afterlife of Holly Chase. I'm so excited. I did take the day off work today because the doctor said that I should not go to work the day of or like 2 days after the surgery. So I'm feeling pretty good and I have a free day. So what we're gonna do is go to the bookstore because last week when I went for my birthday to the book rack, they were having this event where they were giving away gift cards for Black Friday and they called me and I won one, but I have to go pick it up. So I am going to go over there, see what inventory they have and pick up my gift card. And then I think I'm just gonna keep trucking along and go visit my mom. There is a Christmas parade tonight down by where she lives and her, my sister, my niece, all invited me down to come with them to watch the parade. So that is what I'm gonna do. There's going to be a lot of travel time today. So it is ample perfect opportunity to get started on the Afterlife of Holly Chase because I do have this on audiobook. I also have it physically, but I'm going to start listening to it on my drive, and I'm going to take you along with me to the bookstore and to the parade, and I will let you know my initial thoughts when I've gotten a little bit of the way into the Afterlife of Holly Chase. Hello friends, it is the next day. I had such a good day yesterday. I visited the bookstore, I went and visited with my mom and my niece. We watched a little Christmas parade. It was so cute. I also managed to get 100 pages into the Afterlife of Holly Chase yesterday, and I am really enjoying it. I got exactly 100 pages in. I'm on chapter 7. We are following, of course, Miss Holly Chase. She is a 17-year-old girl who was visited by 3 ghosts on Christmas Eve, and instead of seeing the error of her cruel and spoiled ways, she just kind of laughs them off. She thinks, oh, this isn't real, this is a dream. She realizes a little too late how real all of this was, because when she dies a few days later, she wakes up in the headquarters of this top secret organization called Project Scrooge. And it turns out she has been assigned the job of the new ghost of Christmas past. And that is really what Holly's life has been these past 5 years. She's been working with this organization. They choose a new Scrooge every single year to try to rehabilitate and to make a better person. If you've seen the movie Spirited, it's pretty similar to that, although this came first. The setting of this top secret organization is honestly just so fun. It's reminding me a little bit of Tim Allen's The Santa Claus, where there's all these little elves working behind the scenes that you never really think about. All of the work that goes into this one event, this one thing that happens every single year. I mean, they have a whole accounting department. They have interns. This is a legit organization, but with a sprinkle of magic. And this year's Scrooge just happens to be a cute 17-year-old boy named Ethan Jonathan Winters III. Very pretentious. And Holly obviously sees a lot of herself in him being a younger Scrooge, and obviously thinks he's totally hot. But the more we find out about him through the Scrooge project, the more we kind of see about Holly, because she is drawing a lot of parallels between how Ethan was raised and his upbringing to her own. And it is so interesting to see all of this work and preparation that has to be done in order to get ready for this one night of finally visiting their Scrooge and getting all of these memories ready, deciding what they're going to show them. There's like so much that goes into it, and it's so cool to see. It's also interesting that the Christmas Carol, like by Charles Dickens, actually exists in this world. Like that is like their playbook. That is what they go off of. That is what they strive for every year. And they have to find these like key characters from A Christmas Carol, like Tiny Tim, Bob Cratchit, Marley, like these key characters. They have to find the correlating characters in their Scrooge's life. So for example, Holly's Marley, the person that influenced her to not be such a nice person, but a person that Holly did admire, was her stepmother. After her mom died, her stepmother was the one to kind of step in and show Holly how to build up this layer of protection and cruelty. And Holly like looked up to her because she was so strong, and Holly felt like she was falling apart after her mother died. So it's like finding those key moments and finding those key characters in the Scrooge's life to make the most impact when they do have their visit on Christmas. And it's just so interesting how everything is done. And I'm really enjoying learning more about Holly's past, learning more about Ethan's past. And I'm really excited to see the more that Holly sees in herself in Ethan. I think the more that she's going to realize that, like, you know, she does need to change. All the characters at the organization, like everybody that Holly works with, is also just like so cute and fun. It's so familiar, but with a really imaginative twist. I'm really enjoying it so far. I am a little tired today. I feel like I need a day to just recoup after surgery and like running around yesterday. So today I am just going to chill out at home. I'm going to read some more of this book, and I will let you know when I have more of an update. Hello friends. I have gotten quite a bit read today. I am on page 266. I'm on chapter 21. I'm about 70% of the way through the audiobook, and I'm still really enjoying it, but I'm definitely catching myself having to kind of suspend my disbelief at some point. Like, Holly died, obviously, and she is working for this project, but she has her own apartment and she is able to interact with the real world, even though she is dead. I'm not 100% sure like how all of the magic works in this world, but honestly, like I don't need to. I'm just along for the ride. I'm just vibing. So I am still really enjoying it. She is reaching out to Ethan, the Scrooge, outside of her like working, and their interactions have been pretty cute. Like their banter and flirting are adorable, but it is really like causing a rift and causing trouble for Project Scrooge, her interfering. They don't know that she's interfering, but things just aren't going according to plan. And Holly is a bit of an unlikable character. I mean, she is definitely selfish. She does not care who or what her actions affect. She only does what she wants to do. She is going to do whatever she wants to do, and damn anybody else or the consequences. But she's not a total lost cause. Like there is enough good in her, and there is enough to definitely root for her. Like I am rooting for her. I want her to, you know, turn her life around and to succeed. It is also definitely getting more and more heartfelt the more we learn about Holly's past and Ethan's past. Trigger warnings in this for death of a parent. Both Ethan and Holly have lost a parent. Depression, abandonment. So even though it is like a light and fun time, it is also like very heartfelt and sad at times. I would expect no less from a Christmas Carol retelling, because the Christmas Carol is very much that way as well. It is light and fun and humorous, but it is also very heartfelt and carries a lot of weight and meaning. And I am so intrigued to find out where this story is going to go, what is going to happen when they visit Ethan on Christmas with nothing really going right in the preparation stages, and what is going to become of Holly and Ethan. I have a little over 100 pages left, I think, so I should be able to get a good chunk of the rest of this done today, and if not, finish it up tomorrow. So I'm going to get back into this and I will check back in when I have finished and let you know my final thoughts. Hello friends, I have finished The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand and I really enjoyed this one. As much as I did want the ending to kind of go a different way than it went, the fact that I still enjoyed this ending so much, just as much as I would have if it would have ended the way I wanted to, I think, just shows how much of a success that it was. It definitely takes a turn from the usual YA romance endings, and I thought it was done so well. There was a bit of a twist at the end as well. I was trying to figure out what was going on throughout this entire book because it seemed like throughout there was something fishy, something going on at Project Scrooge. And even though I'm sure so many people saw what was coming, it completely caught me off guard. And I just loved how everything was wrapped up and resolved. It was so interesting to read about such unlikable characters, but they were still complex enough and so well written that you just could not help but root for both of them. Holly was this incredibly self-centered, vain, spoiled brat, honestly, but seeing her lose so much, I mean, not that that excuses her behavior in any way, but seeing her lose so much, you cannot help but just empathize with her and really root for her to do well and her happiness. And of course, by the end, she did start to kind of open up and think about more than just herself. And Ethan was the same way. It did take us a little bit longer to kind of see the darker sides of him. At first, he was this super charming, kind young man. But the more glimpses that we started to get into his past, the more we see kind of how jaded and greedy and power hungry he has become. But I just could not help but feel for this sweet boy and really root for his redemption. I will say it did read very YA to me. Not that that is necessarily a complaint, but it was absolutely giving the vibes of a teen drama movie. You know, that meta moment where the main character looks right at camera and is like, yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. It was giving that so hard, those vibes so hard through so many points of this, but I honestly just didn't take it that seriously, and I had such a fun time with it. This was so whimsical while also still remaining to be so introspective as you would expect with A Christmas Carol, and it was such an imaginative twist on a story that I just hold so near and dear to my heart. I am so glad that I finally got around to picking this up and actually reading it. I would highly recommend this, especially around this time of year. I think it is such a great, cozy, funny, and just light Christmassy read. And if you like The Christmas Carol and don't mind a story from the YA perspective, absolutely highly recommend. My rating does land somewhere in between a 3.5 and a 4 star, but I am just gonna round up and give it the full 4 stars. Was it perfect? No, but for what it was and for just the vibes and the nostalgia and the cuteness, I'm absolutely gonna give this a 4 star. And that is it, friends. What a great way to start my Christmas season. I read 2 4-star books that I really enjoyed. There was one that I didn't like very much, but that's okay. I cannot wait to see what the rest of December has in store. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, leave me some snowmen down in the comments. And while you're down there, be sure to like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more from me in the future. Next week, Christmas is going to get a little spooky. So if that interests you, be on the lookout for that. I hope your holiday season is going absolutely fantastically. I hope you are loving what you are reading lately. Stay safe out there, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye, friends.